Okay, so welcome to another episode of A Little Bit of Me and You with Sean and Shay
What's up?
and Lee. All right, guys, listen. I have to bring this up because I'm about to be 42 in a couple weeks, and I just want all of our subscribers to be ready for my birthday. But I also have 4 kids who really stress me out, and I sit at a desk for 8 hours a day. So, you know what I need? I need a chiropractor.
Yeah. See, now people like to talk, I don't really like to hear them. See these dudes snaking, that's why I don't get near them. This rapper's in my blood, I don't even need that serum. Hometown kids, so you hear the city cheering. Lately I've been going off, think I'm killing now, man, just wait till this my job. I'm trying to PC sauce.
You have one. What a coincidence. Here I am.
Right?
Welcome, Dr. Timothy Simone.
Except for it's Tony.
I thought it was.
We went over this
I
yesterday,
had this all
Sean.
revert. Oh my
It's
god!
Tony Simone. Remember we went over that?
I'm keeping all this.
I'm Italian, so it's super easy. Tony Simone.
That's right. I'm keeping all this footage, John, because
We need it.
I like to make fun of myself.
I like it when the host doesn't look at and doesn't even know your name.
Doesn't do the research.
I know I fucked that one up. And his beautiful assistant, Sage.
Okay, see, he doesn't forget Sage. Okay. Who does?
How
She's
can you
unforgettable.
not forget Sage? She's got that glowing face
She does. Thank you.
until she gets her paws on your back, and then it's over.
She does a good job.
Yeah.
Like in our office, when you get an adjustment, before every adjustment, you get a massage, and
You do?
the people rave, and then I go over and massage, and they say nothing, and I'm like, oh my god, my assistants, the students become the master. It's crazy.
Like, I'll just pop the soul out of you.
How long is your massage?
A few minutes,
That is cool.
yeah,
Nice.
because that way you're relaxed. Like you just came out of what life is today. I mean, I don't know if you checked out the news. It's
Yeah.
nothing good going on, and so and then it's checkbooks and kids and like you were talking about, all those responsibilities we have, and then there's no one there to save us. And so chiropractic's great because it's like a reset button for our nervous system because we're frazzled.
Yeah.
You know what
true.
I mean?
Yeah, so Sean and I were fortunate enough to stop by their studio yesterday.
Which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, on 9th and 9th.
Yep.
This place is legit. Holy cow. And we got to see you guys in action.
Yeah. So look, we're the premier destination for chiropractic in Utah, if not the world. Right, Sage?
Right.
Okay, good job.
Prestige worldwide.
Prestige worldwide. Marketing. Personal fitness.
Fashion.
Cuisine. Dog walking. We do it all.
We need you to invest $25,000 into our business.
Look, we wrecked your boat, okay? Are you going to pay the 25 or not? That's a great, I mean, I can't. We could quit. We could just do a whole show on quoting that.
Literally. So why don't you take us into like what, chiropractic I can't even
Okay, let me. We had this issue yesterday. And a lot of people do. So it's called chiropractic,
okay.
right?
Okay.
For the layman's term.
For the layman term, so it's what it is chiropractic, and who the person is the chiropractor,
Right.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Wait, one more thing.
It's
Do
a
you
very
call it
common thing, Sean. It's very common.
Do you call it a studio or a practice?
It's my office. So chiropractors are primary care physicians. Okay, so just like an osteopath. Have you guys heard of an osteopath? That's a DO. So a lot of times you go to the emergency room and you'll see a DO, and so
Okay.
they're like So basically, there's a chiropractor, and then there's a DO, and then there's a medical doctor. So chiropractors are the most conservative. So I don't give you morphine. I know it's disappointing to some patients, but we don't give drugs or do any surgery, but our approach is more conservative. Whereas an osteopath, they do some manipulations to the spine, but then they also do minor surgeries and prescribe medication. And then your MD does surgery and gives you
the
medication.
rods and the rebuilding of like vertebrae.
That'd be like an orthopedic surgeon. That's a subspecialty of an MD. But essentially, in really what happened was chiropractors never got absorbed by the American Medical Association, okay? But osteopaths did.
Okay.
So, and there's a lot of, chiropractic, and the reason why I do these things is because people don't even understand what chiropractic is. And it's crazy. You guys came yesterday and you saw how amazing it is. People don't even know about it.
Yeah.
Or they have negative connotation about a 50-year-old narrative.
Right.
That was basically, and it's all coming out now, which is kind of interesting, how the AMA has had a monopoly on stuff, and they give you pills, and they're in bed with the Rockefellers and all these different things, right?
Yep.
And so now it's all coming to light. So the chiropractors are like, "We told you."
You just made my heart skip a beat.
You like
when
that?
Said that.
I'm here to help.
So what type of credentialing do you have to have?
So chiropractors go to school for 4 years undergraduate, and then we have 4 years of chiropractic school. So that's the same as any other physician. Okay, so now with a medical degree, then you would go on maybe and do a subspecialty. So you do like maybe a residency somewhere, or you do a fellowship or whatever. We see our patients towards the end of school. We see all of our patients in an outpatient clinic, and I was actually in an outpatient clinic, which was an office, and I was able to work with in the field when I was still in school with a very, very popular and very talented chiropractor. So,
Neat.
But are you originally from Utah?
yeah.
Are you?
Well, no, I'm from Rhode Island, but I grew up here.
Okay.
So I went to Orem High.
Really?
I'm an Orem Tiger.
Okay.
I'm a golden tiger.
Oh.
People don't think I'm from Utah, huh?
No, you don't have the
You
Utah.
don't have the Utah like aura to you.
Yeah.
You would.
Neither does your space. You're off. I feel like I'm on Hollywood Boulevard when
Yeah.
I step into your state.
Okay, good.
Bougie.
Hey, what we're doing is working.
That's true.
So yeah, my thing is really people are like they see my Instagram or they see different things. You know, plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it. I've never had any, but I'm a big fan of. If it makes you feel better, then go ahead and do that, right?
Yeah.
But plastic surgery has done a really cool thing that I've noticed, which is they've glamorized what they do.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
And so chiropractic, the miracles we see every day in there, it's crazy. That needs to be glamorized,
Right.
and that's what we do.
And that's kind of what you have coming down.
That's
your
why
pipeline,
my
right?
space looks the way it does. That's why the energy is the way it is, because people don't heal in negative energy and fill this out and
Right.
have a seat, and then we don't know how long we're going to wait, and then the doctor spends 1 minute with you.
Great.
Yeah.
Listen, there's nobody finer in terms of practice management than that girl.
Yeah,
She's
but you
amazing.
have just the small amount that we saw, like you have a great team.
Yeah, and what happens when we look, if I hired someone with an ankle bracelet because I felt bad for him. Listen, I didn't know she was going to sit at the front desk like this with the ankle bracelet showing every single patient. But the good thing is, because it could have been predicted that with the ankle bracelet, she didn't show up for her shift. So that happened to work out in my favor.
Yes.
But so now I'm not allowed to hire. Now Amber does all the hiring.
So is it a prerequisite that you have to be beautiful? Because everybody looks really beautiful in there.
No, like you really have the Hollywood
Yeah.
glam to your whole practice.
It's all about I think it's illegal to hire on
It
looks.
sure is.
And so we don't do that. However, energy, I hire on energy. I've hired on shoes before.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
I look at
used
the
to date based on shoes, so I get that.
Okay. So
This is
here's
why we
if you
never
look
worked
at
out.
see what's that?
This is why we never worked out.
that
We're
right?
Better friends.
Okay. I like you got some pretty sweet kicks
Hey,
on
thank
today.
you.
Those look good. Yeah. So again, we have an outstanding team. Again, like highlighting Sage, she's my lead assistant, so she's my right hand all the time, to the point where she's phenomenal with what she does. She can predict what I'm about to think a lot of times, which I really like. And then she brings on we have a new employee that just started, and so she trains them, and I just always pray that they're going to be like Sage. You know, I always pray they're going to be like Amber. And we have Grace at the front desk now. She does a really good job, and you didn't meet her. And
Was
then
that girl last night? Was she the new girl?
no, was she there? Yes.
Yeah, because you had the issues with the pads,
Right.
and I watched you jump in, and I was like, wow, like I am
I know. He was
impressed.
talking about
Like
that.
that was
Yeah.
incredible.
So here's the thing that we call, we have a saying in our office, it's called "Get the Royal Treatment."
Yep.
Hey there, food lovers. This episode is brought to you by Dolly Crepes. Are you ready to indulge in something deliciously unforgettable? Head on down to Dolly Crepes and indulge in a mouth-watering crepe any time of the day. Whether you're looking for something sweet and savory or deliciously filling, Dolly has exactly what you're looking for. With 3 locations conveniently close to everyone in the Salt Lake and Davis County area, Dolly has you covered.
So the reason why I have a crown is because I've worked with the Saudi royal family
Wow.
like a lot in the past. That's a crazy story, actually. They have guards that stand over you with machine guns.
As you're doing your
Yeah, there's no pressure. I have both my hands, so we did a good job.
Would you be worried if they're like, he's doing black magic? And
I don't know. No, they were just fine. They were very nice, and I've seen them several times since 2010. And so that's why we have the crown. But again, our approach is look at what you don't like when you go to the doctor. Look what anywhere.
The cookie cutter thing.
It's not even like let's personalize.
Right.
Hey, I'm going to give my nervous system to you to fix. So maybe I should get to know you for a second.
It is true because I went into a new dentist a couple years ago, and they were in the process of being bought out by another dentistry, but they had spaceships in there and like all this kid stuff, and I was like, I am in the right place. Like, this is great. I'm gonna get gassed up. Like, let's go. And then I go the next time, and they got like the gray walls and like the outpatient type stuff, and you're like, oh, this is terrible. Where's your rocket ship?
Yeah, nobody heals with fluorescent lighting on them.
No.
All right. And so that's another thing is I just have a certain vision of how I want to be treated. And I've also had the luxury of having some of the best chiropractors as my teachers, including the reason why I became a chiropractor was the founder of my school. My mom used to work for the guy, and that's how I got interested in chiropractic. In fact, I've worked for a chiropractor since I was 16 in Orem.
So you just know.
Well, there was the best looking girl in school. Her name was Natalie Hansen. Okay.
Okay, Natalie.
Natalie.
Shout out.
We don't know what happened.
Please subscribe,
We
Natalie.
don't know where we're at now, but back then, you were the cream of the crop. And so I go to this seminar because my mom actually she's retired now, but she was a social worker for years, but she did like experiential training, which was like so cool. Like you do like a ropes course and you like climb up and they process you while you do this stuff and just try to become a better person. And I was attracted to that even when I was young,
right?
Because I come from nothing,
right?
And so I was like, I want to get out of this, and so what should I do? And so, anyways, that's where I became a chiropractor. But basically, Natalie Hansen, the hottest girl in school. When I came back from the seminar, I went to school and I said, "Hey, Natalie, what's up?" And then she was like, the face of, "Oh, I don't want to talk to you. Like, what are you doing?" I was like, No, it's not about you. It's your dad that I want to talk to. It's not. So she was shocked that I didn't want to date her. I used her to get to her dad.
She's like, wait, where is this going?
Yeah,
Utah is weird.
It's going
but
to your house, but I'm going to visit your dad.
I'm going to go ask your dad for your hand. Really? No, I just want to talk to him.
No, I want to find out about being a chiropractor. So this guy, I like, everyone has a story, right? Mine, and that's why our office is the way it is because everything's based on everything that didn't go right when you're growing up, right? That's what we all try to do is try to fix those, try to right those wrongs somehow.
Still learning,
right? Yeah, we never stop, I don't think. If you find out the answers, just text me and let me know.
You got it.
Yeah, but so I went to the guy and I said, look, I want to be a chiropractor. And he said, okay, how old are you? I'm like, oh, I'm 16, but I was like 15 and a half. So I don't know the guy has my social and can like look up my birth date. Like I didn't get that far yet, right? So we didn't know.
You started with an idea.
And so, yes, we had a vision, we had a dream.
Drove there.
And then he said, look, you're not 16, you can't work legally. And so I was like, okay. He goes, but you can watch for free. And I said, okay.
Oh.
So all my friends are at the water park and they're having fun and all this. And I'm watching this chiropractor. And so, but this guy was smooth. He dressed so good. And like he was, I came from an abusive household. I had the stepdad with the wife beater and bring me a beer guy.
Oh, yeah.
That guy, we had him. And so it was tough. But when I saw this other guy, I thought, wow, there's something else. There's something else out there. And then at first it was superficial.
Yeah.
Am I talking too much?
No. We're just enjoying this.
Yeah.
Like, this is awesome.
Okay. No, but what I was going to say is, so I'm 16. I've really got nothing. In fact, the first day I went there, I dug into a pile of laundry to find something to wear because we had 6 kids.
Right.
And you know how, I don't know if you know how that is, but it doesn't look good.
This
isn't the Ritz, okay, people?
Yeah.
Things get passed down from
is
one
terrible.
kid to the other.
Is this my sister's sock I'm wearing? Yes, it is, okay?
Hey, my house right
Go-
now.
yeah,
yes.
exactly.
Where's my little pony sock?
So I show up and my clothes are wrinkled. Like I rode my bike there for Christ's sake.
Right.
And so I show up and the guy looks at me and he's like, hey, I'm really glad that you're here. He said, but I need you to go home and iron your clothes. I'm like, an iron? What's an iron?
No, he didn't.
Yeah,
Oh, I feel bad for little Tony.
so do I. But I also am proud of
It
this
made
guy.
him the
Because
man he is today.
Most people wouldn't show back up after that.
Yeah.
And it's humiliating. It's not humiliating though. That maybe, and Sage could probably attest to this. My approach is, sometimes very direct, but I don't mean it in a bad way. What do you think? Pretty direct.
Yeah, it's very direct.
Okay. Sage can, and that's another great thing about Sage is, and Amber too, is they can take it. Like they
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
Not a lot of people
Tough
can.
chicks.
I'm not mean, but I'm also
direct,
I'm eccentric though. Look at my jacket.
They walk in, you're like, bitch, go home, go change your clothes.
So he was like, hey, would you mind going home? So I go home and I'm like figuring out the iron. I'm spraying it with a spray. I can still see that in my mind of what I did. But every night after that, I got the ironing board out and I would learn to iron the clothes. And so I ironed these clothes before I came here. And not my underwear. We're not sick. Okay? We have problems, but it's not to that extent.
Like,
We're
too much
outpatient.
starch.
We're outpatient, okay? We're not inpatient. And so anyway, so I show back up and the thing about that guy was his name's Dr. Hansen, Ken Hansen. He's been long retired. But like 2 weeks later was my birthday. So he goes, hey, what are you doing after work? And I said, nothing. And he goes, we're going to the mall, University Mall.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Provo.
We're going to ZCMI, bro.
Oh, yeah, back
Yes.
in the day.
So he goes, after work, we're going to go to the mall. I said, okay. So this guy,
You're good.
this guy goes and teaches me how to pick out pants. And then you pick out the shirt that matches that. And here's a tie. And this guy was super conservative. So I look like,
Like a
I
Mormon
look like
missionary.
fucking Mitt Romney on this thing. And
Did you have your binder too?
Yeah. I had my binder
Yes.
and my list of bad ideas.
Yes.
So anyways,
Have you been to China?
Romney, what happened to him?
Oh,
I never,
He mentored
ever since he was in the basement, he hid when he ran. Did he run for president?
Yeah, against Obama.
Oh, that's right. He was in the basement.
That was
You
a
just went off on a tangent.
Sorry about that. Anyways, back
I
to
can
Dr.
feed
Hansen.
off-
He takes
I
me
can
to
feed
the
off on
mall, and he
Buy you?
What's that?
He bought you clothes.
He bought me clothes, and and then, like, literally, I felt so good about myself, and so I've tried to do that to other people, but they don't fucking appreciate shit.
Well, ZCMI is it? Do you still take them to ZCMI?
No,
No.
the ZCMI's not even around.
What were you gonna say? Were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Did he take you in?
no, but I did have to learn how to iron my clothes.
Sage yesterday. Sage, so Sage knew you guys were gonna stop by yesterday, and so she says, "Does my shirt look wrinkled?" I said, "I'm getting to you." Like, present yourself
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
the best you can. Look, I mean, you say that I'm very good looking. I don't really. I'm like average, okay. But I have a really good personality, and that's what we have to do when we're average.
I don't know. The way you rubbed my belly earlier, I was sold.
We'll talk after the show. Yeah.
think we're
So,
having a
anyways,
bromance.
look, great mentors, great vision of what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy.
It's not.
Hey, do you guys mind if I slip into something more comfortable?
Absolutely.
It's getting warm in here. I'll have to kind of scooch that out of the way if that's okay.
Okay, Sage, I got a question for
'Kay.
you since he seems like a little diva.
Oh yeah.
Is that how it is, and how is it working with him?
Yes, this is exactly how it is.
Thank you.
I think at first it's like intimidating
Yeah,
because he's
you're intimidating.
a lot.
I'm intimidating. See, I don't even see this in my tone. I don't even hear it.
No, it's your presence.
Yeah.
Like, because you're so outgoing, and most
Yeah.
people are very like introvert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I have that problem too. I've had to learn to like turn it on and turn it off. So like when I'm around extroverts like you, I can let it fly and it's fine. But then if I walk into like a situation where I don't like know people, I'll shut it down.
Am I like sucking you dry energetically right now?
No,
you're
no.
filling me up.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure.
No.
Yeah.
And in the
That's a
look and-
thing. Okay. Everybody, energy's a thing.
It is.
Oh, 100%.
So back to your deal. What is your worst day working with?
Oh, worst day.
Oh.
Worst day.
She knows she can say anything.
Did you hear him drop the energy? Feel that?
I did.
The worst thing in a world.
I can't think of like one day.
Like, has he ever made you kind of feel like you want to cry a little bit because he's direct, or you can handle it pretty well?
No, I mean,
She doesn't.
It's a little sting.
If she made mistakes, then
It
I've
definitely
made people
sucks.
cry, but she's never made a mistake so far. I mean,
You
she's
probably
made,
get it more from customers than anything else, right?
what's that?
no.
No?
You don't?
Honestly,
patient?
like
Yeah,
our
like
patients,
patient. Sorry.
Yeah, sometimes they're like a little grouchy, but
But when you're in pain, that's
Yeah,
to be
it's
expected.
normal.
Yeah.
And we're very well equipped to handle that. By the way,
Right. Because I noticed the lady last night was just like, this is too much.
she's having a hard time.
Right.
For sure, yeah.
Right.
So we don't just say that's good enough. That's what we will stay there.
That's the
How
tip.
long did I stay there? How long did they stay there? 5, 10 minutes.
Yeah. I mean,
To
it was
make sure
like
it was
Yeah.
on
exactly
point
right.
care.
Yeah, that's because this isn't we crack and pray.
Right.
So this is examination. We find out diagnosis, and then we co-manage with other healthcare professionals. But here's the thing: most people come in pain, but then they stay for wellness care.
Right. Because Shay and I were talking after we left your practice, and we're like, "Oh, we're going. We got to do this."
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
and we want to have you guys, and I knew you guys were gonna. I knew she was coming in because she was up front, and Amber told me she was like, "Oh, my back's so tight." I didn't hear that part. She was being polite. She wanted to get in with me first.
But we talked about it because, like now more like on the technical side. Like for me, for an example, I've never been to a chiropractor ever.
Likewise.
And I played Little League football all the way up through high school. You know, skateboard kid, you know, all that stuff.
Vision Streetwear.
Yeah.
Gordon Smith.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
I was a skater, and then I came back from the summer, and I was a rocker because Def Leppard.
Oh, you
Oh,
said
yeah.
Leppard came out.
That's the 80s. That's the hair bands and everything.
It was big.
I was a
The hair
skater.
was big, and it was big.
But no, like I notice when I lay on, like when I'm laying on my back,
Yeah.
like my right leg is longer than my left leg.
Okay. These are things that people notice, and then they kind of shrug them off. Here's the thing: if you're driving down the street and your car's shimmying, you'd
It's-
probably bring it in
Right.
and figure out what's going on because you're same thing in the body. If we're
Right.
out of alignment, the next thing you know, we're wearing the body out unevenly.
What I'm worried is you crack everything and realign, and then like demons come out of my body.
I mean,
That's literally what I worry about.
I worked on a comedian one time, and she was sponsored by a big water brand that had demons involved with it. And did I get that right? Okay, good. I didn't say it. Okay, good. Anyway, she was like, the demons came out. So yeah, you know, whatever. Here's the thing: we're reconnecting source with your body. So in other words, the brain's message. Whoops, I'm not used to the microphone right here.
I know,
I have a
it's-
lavalier. Diva.
Diva.
Should I do it like pull a
Hashtag.
Vanilla Ice and trash the set?
You
and
should.
just run off.
Ice baby bitches.
Remember that? That is crazy. Vanilla Ice. He's great. So I went off on a tangent and now I forgot.
No,
Yeah,
about
ADHD
realigning.
is tough, guys.
You're good about realigning your body with your mind and every.
Right. So it's essentially, look, like I think of the point I was getting to is people come in pain, but then they realize the benefits. Okay, they are walking down the street and they're like, my back doesn't feel like it's in alignment. Oh, that's right, because you sat 70 hours this week at your job.
Yeah.
Your husband doesn't do anything around the house, and you do everything.
I notice like my lower back hurts, but I think it's because I'm getting fatter. So I got to change the lifestyle.
So we're not the type of practice. Have you ever heard me say, "Hey, it's because you're too morbidly obese"?
Never.
So again, you can give information to a patient without insulting the people.
If
and
you
making them
said
feel
that
like,
to me, I would laugh my ass off.
I know you would, but
Yeah, but you're a
again,
rare breed.
I know I am.
Yeah.
well, and that's the thing is. So I've gone to a doctor before, and then you tell them a problem, and then they sit there and judge you about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, I'm trying to get help for this.
Right.
And so that's really things like that drive me crazy. So I try to give a different experience. So then if I do go to the doctor, and a lot of them are very good. However, there's been some experiences where you go and you don't really get any answers. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so, or the answer is just the pill. And so
That's what I hate the most.
chiropractors are different, and here's why. We have classes in nutrition. Medical doctor doesn't have that because you're too busy. And I don't mean to demean that, but you're very busy
Right.
learning what prescription to write from Pfizer.
Right. Because
Okay,
they're
'cause-
kicking you back some money.
I don't know what they're doing, but that's not health care. That's sickness care.
Well, so
chiropractic's health care,
right.
and sickness care is, hey, I chopped my arm off. I need it sewed back on.
Right.
Okay, and listen, those surgeons are the finest. If my arm gets chopped off, don't take me to the chiropractor. Take me to a surgeon. However, if I need, and Dana White said this before too. I believe it was Dana White. It wasn't Dana White. It was the other guy, Cardone. It was Cardone that said
Okay.
it. He said, "I'll never go to the medical doctor for health."
Right.
So that's like how perfect.
Because they're in the business of
How
keeping you sick.
perfect is chiropractic? Because chiropractic is about helping your body function as well as possible. So I don't cure anything. Chiropractic helps your brain, the brain's messages, which come out about 65 million impulses per second, telling your heart to beat 72 times a minute, telling your lungs to breathe 18 to 20 times a minute, telling your liver to liver.
Or if you're like you and I who have ADHD and like could actually tell the future.
Right.
You know.
I can tell what she's going to say in about 5
Exactly.
minutes, okay?
Exactly.
So
No shade.
So again, the bigger picture is chiropractic helps your body function better. It's about communication, and that's the simple fact. It helps with mobility. The other thing is we sit like this, and so I went to the secret. It wasn't the secret. It was a cybersecurity summit, the other day. And so the owner of the place is a new friend of mine, and he's friends with an old friend of mine. Anyways, I go down there, and I think I'm meeting this guy for lunch. But he's one of these, and the guy's great. But he's like, I'm about to go on stage. So I'm like, dude, I thought we were going to lunch. But he wants me to come and see him do this speech, right? So I can read that and I can see that. So I'm like, great. So I go in, I see there's Secret Service people, but these are all tech people.
Techies.
And I look around the room. There was this, I can still see this guy. He was like this, and he's like, and I was like, oh my God, this is a perfect environment for me.
Bad posture.
I was like that, like I can help so many people in here.
You're like, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Yeah. So, yeah. But, well, not even that.
No, I know.
I mean,
No, you're more like, I can help
here's
you.
a
I can
weird
help
thing.
you.
Your job sometimes depends on people being injured.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, that's a weird thing that we had
Well,
to get over, you know?
Majority
So,
of
but the
them.
good thing is I'm here to help you if you need it. You know what I mean?
No, you can tell you're genuine though. You know, like you care about your patients. You know, you care about obviously getting this information out.
Yeah.
You know, which is why coming on a podcast and trying to find another audience to talk about all these things. You know, most people don't want to do that. Instead, it's kind of like the regular patient care where it's just one after the other. Come back and see me in 6 months.
Hey, Sage, let's talk about, and we obviously totally HIPAA compliant. We had a patient, we're not going to say when, but the patient walked in here, show the neck, show what it looked like.
Oh no!
It's called spasmodic torticollis, and we saw this is how awesome my job is. Good looking guy.
He was good looking.
Because
Verify.
the girls were like, oh, he looks so much better when his neck's straight.
Wait, I was going to say, was it better like this or better like this?
Better straight.
They didn't say that. But again, he came in. And so just back to your point of we care about what we're doing. And I wish that this would be across the board for everybody and that we're not worried about what the insurance is going to pay. I don't take insurance because I don't want someone who's not a chiropractor or a physician telling the patient what they can have. So it's practicing medicine without a license unless you're an insurance company, and then you get to do that. And again, we don't want to inflame insurance stuff right now, but yeah, you know what I mean? And so again, our approach is top notch and then totally personalized. Okay, so every patient has my cell phone number, right?
Right.
And they all have Sage's cell phone number. No, they don't.
She's like, no, not yet.
Yep.
Well, no, because like we've had a friend of mine on. She's been a guest 3 different times now, and
Oh, can I come back?
absolutely,
Do you want to come back?
Of course.
Okay, we're coming back.
absolutely.
Okay, cool.
The red carpet's always open.
The reason why we wanted to do this is you're awesome.
Well, thank you.
Both of you, you're lovely. And then also we want to get better. I don't know, I don't mean to speak for Sage, but our whole office, I know Amber and I, we want to continually get better all the time because think about it, a lot of people, and that's okay if you want to do this, but you go to the job and then you go home and you go to the job.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of living is this?
It's a stagnant life, and you feel like you're just withering
It's
away.
like NPC.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep,
and
absolutely.
so it's terrible. And so I like what we have going on right now because we give excellent care. It's fulfilling in a way that it's when you see, anyways, back to the guy with the neck, then 20 minutes later, a little bit better. Then we saw him afterwards. His neck was completely straight.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was incredible.
So that's not me.
Holy cow.
That's not me. That's chiropractic and me applying it properly as a technician, really.
Right.
I'm a spine plumber. When there's a misalignment,
Right.
we're
No, I mean,
gonna plumb it.
Right.
Her boyfriend's a plumber. He's much better at plumbing than I am, but spine plumbing, I'm very good. Right?
I like it. So my friend though, she's a wellness physician, or not. She's not a physician. She's a
What's her name?
Amber Lund.
Okay.
So I don't know if you ran into her.
I haven't run into her yet, but we will.
But she specializes in like hormone replacement therapy, stem cell.
Nice.
And what I have come to find out, and this isn't a knock to any other doctors out there or any medical, practices, the ones that it seems like they don't take insurance are the ones that actually care the most.
Oh,
Yeah. Do you know what's so crazy is I went to the seminar. This is again ADHD, but we have fun. So we go to Arizona, and then there was a bunch of doctors, and this one lady came up, and she was shit-faced drunk. Okay, she was terrible embarrassment. And so we were eating, and we're all eating with the staff, and then like we're literally having our dinner, and then she comes over, she's like, "Oh, you're the cheap one in Salt Lake."
Oh.
What?
because I do cash and all this stuff. And so she's like, I've been to this seminar for 23 years. I go, it's not working. Okay, it's not working. So I went once and we were good. But the whole thing is, so we make it affordable for people. Chiropractic requires repetitive. Can you go to the gym and then be ripped in 1 week? No. It takes repetition.
I tried.
When you eat right, do you eat like on Monday you eat super healthy and then Tuesday through Friday we're eating McDonald's? No.
Right.
It's consistency.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything works with consistency, right? Sage is an esthetician. So she works in a spa and then she works with me.
Okay.
So do you get one facial?
Oh no,
Do you have one microdermabrasion? Am I saying the right things?
that's it. Yep.
Okay.
That's
What about
one.
I got what's it called? A dermaplane I had the other day.
Dermaplane, yes.
So so you don't do these things. You wouldn't expect to get your hair cut and colored. It looks gorgeous, but you wouldn't do it once.
Consistently.
Listen, I'm brushing my teeth once,
It's
and
fine.
we're good. Don't stand too close to me.
I feel like too mentioning like why we don't take insurance.
Oh, I thought you said like why he doesn't brush his teeth.
I was wondering too
No, I
about
do.
that.
That
Sorry.
was me being facetious. I do. I want to let everyone know. Teeth have been brushed multiple times today. Okay. Why don't we take insurance? Because I want to make the decisions. I don't want someone in the cubicle making the decision for my
Dictating it.
patient.
Yeah.
And so one thing is, I saw this like French guy,
French.
and he had this. I can't pronounce the stuff. And in fact, I took French in junior high. I never got a bonbon. That means no right answers. Okay. Marguerite was the teacher. She hated me with a passion because I didn't have any passion towards speaking French.
Did the French guy drop a wee wee on you?
It was like, oh,
Tonton.
it was like,
I
oh,
don't know about your guys' French impressions, but yes.
Ratatouille.
come on. That was too easy. All right. Anyways. to
So
that point,
No insurance.
no insurance.
No insurance. Thank you, guys. No insurance is because we make the decisions there. And so here's the thing. People like I heard in California, it's $350 for one adjustment.
Really?
And I said, well, what is it going to take to move to California?
I don't know how people in California survive in general, but
Yeah. Well, there's no-
That's a whole other hour.
yeah,
Podcast that we could
or
talk about.
5.
Or 9 hours.
Yeah.
9 days.
9 days of how
No. Listen. 9 days. What am I talking about? Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, that's
9 times. It was 9 times.
9 times.
9 times.
That's why I didn't catch it.
Because it wasn't.
Well,
the
no,
correct
because
reference,
he
my
should have
fault.
just done the Bueller.
Hey, listen. So my friend, we talked about Grace. So in my mind, sometimes I want to be like Grace. Grace. Ferris Bueller's on my mind. Oh my god. Anyways, I lost track. Where we
You're
at?
good. So
Why
what
we
are
don't take insurance is because we want to give.
you
good
want-
care.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the end of it. Thanks.
so what would you consider like one of the biggest misconceptions about
Yeah.
the chiropractic?
we brought a list. Should we go over
Let's
it?
do it.
Sage, will you help us?
I would love to.
Don't touch the mic. No, I'm kidding.
I'm all over. I'm like bumping into it left and right.
She's
Do
like,
whatever you want.
no.
Okay.
What do you think we should do? If I go to the chiropractor, I have to go all the time. Back to our point we just talked about. If I brush my teeth, I have to do it every day, multiple times.
Yeah.
If I go to the gym and I want to get results, I have to go multiple times.
Right.
So, again,
So
repetition.
considering that, do you offer like some type of membership, or is it?
I do. So we have memberships and we have punch passes. So I have a lot of, and like my practice, honestly, I like, hopefully my patients will listen to this. I love you guys. Like seriously, because it's the best people ever. No one gives a hassle, hardly ever. Now I've been practicing for 18 years. On June 16th is my anniversary. So 18 years of practicing. And there's been, there's been patients that have been challenging in the past, but my practice right now, it's high-end, beautiful people. It's people from my community. It's celebrities. It's disabled people. It's children. It's family care. And so it's a pretty cool thing, and it's growing. We're getting very popular, but we have memberships. So what we do is we do an exam on you, and then I'll give you a treatment plan, and then you go to the front, and then they basically fit that treatment plan for the most inexpensive way to do that for you.
Okay.
We take HSA and FSA as well, right? And so we make it easy. Like if you have a membership, I have an agreement. It's super simple. It's very straightforward. We're not there to play games. We're there to get you feeling better. So, and a lot of my patients, they've been going to me since I've been up here, which is like 8 years.
Wow.
So,
Okay, that's good. So what are some of the other myths?
Come on, Sage. What do we got?
Chiropractic adjustments are dangerous.
Okay, so the way I address that is I always look at insurance,
Okay.
right?
Right.
Let's say you had 12 wrecks. What's your insurance going to look like? It's going to look terrible. You're going to have a high premium. So my malpractice per year is it's actually less than 3 because I do a really good job. I've never had a problem. Is there any real wood here for me to knock
that's
on?
real.
Thank you. So we've never had an issue. And so the thing is, $3,000 a year.
Which is pretty low.
So if someone's going to charge you for being dangerous, it's going to be the insurance company. So chiropractic has risks, okay, as does everything, okay? But the risks are minimal and they're far and few between, okay? And
Well, it's no different than going to a doctor's office.
Here's like someone's like, someone on the cover of People, a patient stroked out from having an adjustment. Okay, 870,000 people died from properly prescribed medication last year.
Right.
Stop it.
Right.
Stop.
Right.
So what I do is very, very safe, and of course, very, very specific and very careful every time. We don't crack and pray. There's an exam ahead of time to mitigate any of these things that could be a
You
problem.
do x-rays and all that too?
Absolutely. So
okay.
when necessary. So before, like back in the day when I worked for Dr. Hansen, I used to take x-rays. I used to be able to take I was 16 years old taking an x-ray.
Really?
Not bad. But I don't know, I think the doctor has to push the button now. But in 89 or 88, you could just light them up.
You just
left
put
and right.
the lead bib on them?
Yeah, you put I wear the one, and then they don't wear one because that would block out the
Right.
spine. So, but again, x-rays, we're taking on every person. Now it's kind of like, hey, let's look at the curves in the spine. A lot of people don't realize we're on the computer all the time. We're on our phone. So we're doing this constantly.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And so you do that for 10, 15 years, and then guess what happens?
You stuck that way.
You get that hump that grandma has. You know this one?
Yeah.
don't want
The Quasimodo.
That's because you've lost the curve in your neck. And so when we lose curves in the spine, there's 3 curves in your spine. You should have 3 curves. There's a forward-facing curve in your neck. Okay, and we're working on Sage's. And then there's one that goes in the mid-back this way, and then in the low back it goes this way. So the
So it
interesting,
goes like the S.
yeah. And so you've got, let's say we had someone laying face down, you would have the neck curve, the back curve, and the low back curve like this, okay? And so, again, repetition, it's just like wearing braces, what I do a lot of times. You don't get your braces on Monday and then you get them off on Thursday. So chiropractic is we do the correction first and then you maintain it because guess what causes bones to go out of place in your spine and us to have mobility issues? Stress.
Right.
So 80% of this is emotional, mental stress. Do you believe it?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Okay. So
Well, the other part too is just muscle memory. You know,
Right.
like one back crack isn't going to prevent someone from keeping doing this.
do you wear your braces for one day and then you have straight teeth? I just will keep circling back to that.
I like the metaphor.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the dentist got it right. You used to go every 6 months. You and I are similar in age, so we used to go every 6 months. Now it's every 4 to 6 months because guess what? We catch it early.
Right.
Chiropractors have done a terrible, shitty job at explaining what it is that we do, but not me. Not Sage. Sage didn't explain it wrong. So chiropractic is there, right, Sage? Yep. So chiropractic is the reason why we have chiropractic is to keep you in alignment so that your brain messages get to the cell that it's intended to in the way that it's intended to do. The weight of a dime on a nerve, which is, imagine a bone out of place, and then you've got inflammation, you've got bone out of place on a nerve, that reduces the function of a nerve by 60%.
Really?
Yeah. So remember, we don't just have back muscles that hurt from the nerves. These control our organs, these nerves. It's called the autonomic nervous system. So we have divisions. We have the central nervous system with 2 divisions, with 3 divisions really. Parasympathetic, that's the feed and breed. That's where we calm down, we digest, that stuff. Then there's fight and flight. Everyone knows that, right?
Yeah.
So we see a bear, we're either going to fight it or we're going to run.
The amygdala.
The amygdala, nice. And so I love when she brings up neuroanatomy.
That was such a great French word you just used.
Amygdala.
Amygdala.
Hey, isn't it in Star Wars? Star Wars, Princess Amygdala.
That's
That
right.
reminds me of amygdala. I think
That's
it's
right.
the same thing.
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Yep.
It
Yep.
means like it's part of the brain. So we'll have to ask George Lucas about that. Yeah.
So the nervous.
So basically, the autonomic nervous system is what controls the vagal tone on your organs. Like we talked about, the heart beating and all that stuff. So chiropractic again is to improve the body's function. So it doesn't cure anything; it improves communication in your body.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what I do.
So do you walk around looking at people like, oh?
Oh my gosh, we made videos about it, huh? In the airport, my producer called. My current and future producer called, and she goes, "In the airport, why don't you look for people that need your help?" And I said, "This seems invasive." So I'm like walking up to the guy, he's all crunched over, and I'm like, "Let me just film you." So it's awkward, but then the song we put to that video was "Everybody Hurts" by REM. It was a good video, but
I know I hurt.
it took me 5 minutes to find 7 people in the airport.
Oh, yeah.
I had people stretching.
Were they all like about it too? Like, was anyone like
some
"Get
of
away
them?
from
It
me"?
was some of this was American Beauty. I was in the corner filming.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so some of it was
flag.
it was a public space, so I believe that's okay to do. Although I did have some internal strife about it, but we got past it.
I like it. So
Look, we're growing the practice. We're blowing up on social media. So if you don't follow us, follow us on Dr. Tony
your
Chiro.
videos are awesome, by
They
the
are
way.
so fun.
Guess who thinks of a lot of these ideas?
Sage.
Sage.
Yeah, so we got to give credit where it's due.
She's like the quiet assassin.
We're actually a good team because I'll say, hey, what about like something like blah, 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 blah. And then she's like, or you could do this. And then I'll say, then we should do this. And next thing you know, I'm getting pineapples and doing a, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives video in Smith's.
I
Right?
binge watched them one night. I sat there and scrolled through. I was like, this is hilarious.
So I've been told by people I respect that we have very good, for a chiropractor. I can't wear bikinis. Okay. It's harder for me.
Oh, you can.
We
It
should.
would be funny.
We are in the month.
We're not doing that idea. Okay.
Sage is like, what if you did it this way?
She's like, what if you went ahead and
No.
ran down to, what's it, Honey Burnett? Is that what it's
I
called?
think that's what it's called.
Jiminy Christmas. Yeah, we're not doing that. But either way, it's harder for me because I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm a guy.
Yeah.
And so I can't just post a picture of me in my bikini and get my 9 million hits, okay?
Yeah.
What if
How
Sage?
did you get such a big following? Just over time, or
Everything we do is really persistence.
yeah,
Just
We're
constantly
stupidly persistent.
yeah.
So it's let's try something. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, let's do something else. It usually works though.
Yeah.
It usually works. And so we had like 12,000 followers, and then my producer called and said, "Dude, they look at that."
Yeah.
And they said,
Oh, really?
Yeah, they said that you need to you're a loser.
You need to pump those
They
numbers
said
up.
you suck. Actually they said you're doing great, but we need that up. And so then we just started telling all of our patients. We have a lot of sometimes we see how many patients per day, an upward of 75, 80.
Holy cow!
So you know what I mean. And so there's a lot of people, and that's the cool thing about our clinic too is there's so much networking that goes on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so again, very happy with what we've got going on. We hope anyone listening would come and give us a chance to take care of you. We'd love to.
I would tell you this, based off of the videos that you post, you make like the whole field look fun.
You do.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's the one thing I always gather. Like,
Is health fun? Are you happy when you're healthy?
I mean, hopefully.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
in chiropractic. All right, so what I had
Tony, I
Sage-
wouldn't know.
I had Sage. It's okay. Listen, I lost. I'm here to say, Sage can attest. I was in my 3rd trimester about 3 months ago. I was in my 3rd trimester, and then I said, "Dude, you're supposed to be on TV." You know,
Oh, yeah,
Adds pounds.
and again,
That's
it
what I
adds
hear.
10
I don't
pounds.
know. I don't know.
To me, it added 30.
I know recording a podcast, I look like a fat shit. So
We can go. Do you want to do like a? Hey, remember the shows where all of a sudden the camera just takes the people and they run through the studio? We should have done that. That would have been good. Anyways, yeah.
One thing that I like personally struggle with when it comes to like finding entertainment is like I'm not a big reality TV person. Like
I
she
love it.
begged me to watch The Mormon Housewives. I couldn't watch a second of it. However,
Come over later and we'll watch it. You got it, baby. I watched it twice. No, I only watched it 1.5 times.
1.5.
we'll watch it on the big screen.
Anyways,
But no, like because you know all your videos are so entertaining. It actually makes me excited that you have this like big thing happening.
yeah.
Especially
As with everything, and look, these people could look at this and say, "This guy's a clown."
hopefully
Barnum and Bailey is hiring. You should go there.
I tried.
Again, but listen, the cool thing, and that's why I love my team, is because everyone's got that special something.
Right.
Which is
Yeah.
you're not lazy. You got some sort of certainty. You have some sort of
hunger.
urgency, some hunger. You want to do something.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting though, like the people, the employees in our office, we've had some I wouldn't say my turnover's high, but it's not low.
They're just not a good fit, some people.
But they phase themselves out.
They
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
I don't fire anybody. They know that they're not supposed to be there, and then
That happens when a
then
group's
they eject
leveling
themselves
up.
from the game.
Yeah,
But I don't
exactly.
think, like, just based off the little, smidget that we saw, it doesn't look like you asked for a lot.
Oh no.
She's like, oh no.
I mean, it's your job, like it's.
But I mean, like, you create the environment, but like the actual work itself.
Here's the thing: I can create an environment, but if she's a piece of shit and doesn't do her job, then that's going to be a problem.
Well, right.
So it's really on them.
But I'm just saying,
it's
like,
really they're good.
well, right,
It's
but-
not me.
Well, what I'm
like,
saying is like the actual
they've seen
job
it too.
itself.
They've seen it.
But
I say nothing.
Yeah.
If you do what you're,
If you
it's
do what
not.
you're supposed to
If you're doing what you're supposed to do, I say nothing.
Yeah.
I pour praise over you. If anything, really.
Yeah.
I want my people feeling good because if they feel good, then they're gonna. You ever have a job and the boss treats you like a piece of crap, and then
yeah.
next thing you know, how do you treat the customer? You're not intentionally doing it, but you're not in a great mood.
no, it's like
Yeah.
it's like cancer. It spreads.
You're like, here's your drink, fucker.
You're like, bitch, I'm gonna crack your back. Let's
Exactly.
go.
Come here.
I got
So,
a
yeah.
10 o'clock. I got 5 minutes.
So like the culture. I don't know how much I love that word, but the environment is important to me.
I think environment's everything.
Because
it's a
the
culture.
energy goes to the people.
Right.
So before I go to work, guess what I do? Okay, remember the guy with the neck?
Brush your teeth.
I do brush my teeth. I'm gonna go home and brush after this. Just on
No,
principle.
no, you're good.
No, but the guy, remember we talked about
The neck guy.
gentleman?
Yeah.
What did I do? You can say. So I go in the back before I know. So he's getting the therapies. He's getting all the stuff before I tell her to say it. And then I go ahead and just roll over. Very normal. She's used to it. So, but either way, I go in the back and I'm like, I don't know if you're supposed to do this, but I prayed that I do a really good job.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It's called intention.
Right.
And so, like, don't want to be the only one doing this stuff. I want every doctor to be doing this
But
stuff.
it goes back to like you.
I didn't think of this. Other great mentors thought of this.
Right, but it goes back to you actually caring. That's you create a culture that where it's a fun environment.
I don't want her to go to work.
Right.
I want her to come and
hang out.
have a good time.
Yeah.
And then also walk out of there feeling like, hey, this was worth it to go, and I helped a lot of people.
Yeah.
Right.
They help the people just as much as I do.
Right.
Amber knows all my patients so well. Like they automatically text the word Amber because it's that concierge what we do. Okay, and we don't. And I also do. Well, so let me make a distinction. I'm very concierge in the office, but I also do VIP concierge. So that's the celebrities. They don't want to go to the office. It's a very nice office, but they don't want to go. They want me to go to, say, the Grand America, or they want me to go up in Park City to the St. Regis or whatever, or they fly me in a helicopter to go adjust them, or whatever it is.
Just curious, how did you get into like the celebrity stuff? Like, how did that fall into your lap?
So I walked. I'm not allowed to say. They told me specifically. I'm not supposed to say. But they're big, and so I graduate. I've said it, but I'm not going to say it on here.
You can
said it
you
to
can
her.
tell us.
I
You
said
can
it to
tell us
her.
after if you want.
We'll tell you after. So I graduated from school, got my malpractice insurance, started working for a practice in Atlanta, and there was a big show, and it was at the Gwinnett Civic Center in Atlanta. And I just went to the concert, and I go to the backstage door and just I like to
Different.
act things out, so I wish we could film what I did, but I just basically just beelined, walked straight past
Because you
the
act
guard.
like you belong there.
I am supposed to be here.
Yep.
So I walked back, found the manager of the big band, and they're big. They're like, you're going to probably
I'll shit myself.
yourself,
Hopefully not.
metaphorically. Hopefully not literally. But anyways, I walked back and I meet the manager. I'm like, hey man, I'm a chiropractor. Do you guys need any work? And the guy's like, dude, my back just got thrown out. The manager of these guys. So I say, give me an all access pass. I'm going to go get my table and I'll come right back and we'll work on you. And that's how I got it.
Literally how it started.
That's how it
Favors the
started.
bold.
But then I said, hey, I just worked on these guys to the next guys.
Right.
And then I said, hey, guess who I've worked on? And I asked permission, of course.
Sure.
And then that's why I can't say the first people. But I could say some of the other people that were also playing with them. And so I said that, and then that's how it kind of built up.
Well, because I was looking at your pictures and like what you have posted in your office, and you have a good collection of very famous people. But the one that stood out because it was such a cultural phenomenon at the time was Pauly Shore,
The Wheeze.
the Wheeze.
He's a very nice person.
He's
He
so
loves getting adjusted. Like, I think he actually got adjusted in a movie.
really.
If you look up Pauly Shore gets adjusted in a movie, he like turns and puts his back like towards his buddy when he's moving out, and the guy like he goes, "One more crack before you go." But that's what he did to me in a nightclub in Las Vegas one time. I said, "Dude, we're in the middle of the club."
Right.
But he's great. I've met him a few times. Very nice guy.
Right on.
Yeah, the Weasel.
The Weasel.
So can you imagine how mind blowing that is to me?
Oh, I mean, that's
Okay, what was it? What was his show? Totally Polly.
totally Polly.
So
And he had all the
basically that
movies.
was my religion
Yep.
when I was growing up, and then next thing you know, the first time I ever saw it. Well, actually, we probably shouldn't go into that, but either way, we'll tell you after. We'll tell you after.
Yeah, he's probably doing something he's not supposed to.
He's a good guy.
Do you know much about him though? Like, do you know his mom ran that comedy club?
Mitzi Shore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
The Laugh Factory, I think.
the Laugh Factory. Mitzi Shore's a legend.
I think he runs it now, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. But I do know that Sam Kinison used to babysit him.
That's right.
Remember
That's
Sam
right, 'cause
Kinison?
he was on, I can't remember what podcast, but he was talking about that.
So Sam Kinison is your babysitter.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh. Dude, yeah, poor Sam Kinison. I was like a Dice fan, and I was a Kinison fan. So, because I'm from Utah.
It's kind of, but they're kind of cut from the same cloth. You know, that-
exactly. Well, it's
Hey.
the generation before us was Richard Pryor
Right.
and who else?
You had like Kinnison,
Dice.
Eddie Murphy,
Oh, Eddie Murphy, Dice.
and then God, who else was big?
Hey, remember, this is random, but Emo Williams. Dude, he played Wise Guys recently,
Right.
which was crazy. So, yeah, so it is fun. So what Sage and I do is we see someone coming in town, we'll send them a message and we'll say, hey, do you want to get adjusted? It's hard on the road.
Oh, I'm sure.
You're in a different bed every day. You've got people heckling you.
You're on a tour bus or
You're
you're
on a tour bus.
hotel room every night. That'd be rough.
You're Michael Richards.
Wait, you shoot him a message on Instagram? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we say, hey, call me on my cell phone if you want to get,
And they do. Huh?
and they do.
That is
He's got the blue checkmark deal, so he can
Yeah, I
connect
know.
with other blue checkmark people.
Oh, what is it?
So if you're not a blue checkmark,
What's a blue check mark?
You're
the higher
verified.
end people.
You're verified.
Verified. And
So if you're not a blue check mark, if I were to send you, or not you, because we've connected now, but if I were to send, let's say, Polly Shore a message,
Yeah.
it wouldn't go through. It gets buried in a different folder.
Oh,
But when you both are verified, then
Oh.
it goes directly into the inbox.
I didn't know.
And they do that to prevent, like groupies and all that other shit that they have to deal with.
We're not groupies at all. The thing is, we went and saw. I just gotta be careful on what I say. We went and saw a big country band. You can say that.
Okay.
And Sage is the one that found. She's like, "Hey, do you want to go work on these guys?" Because she was a fan of them. And I said, "Sure." And so we went, and she's out by the tour bus. Like Sage, they were the groupie for Sage. Then the guy calls me. The guy calls me, and they're like, "Hey, what's Sage's number?" I'm like, "What's up?" And he's like, "I want to give her something at the show." And I was like, "Okay." So they gave her like a beautiful poster or something.
Oh,
Wow. Pulls,
Yeah,
Pulls
so-
her up on stage. And
I don't know what
starts
happened. I
singing.
didn't go to the show.
Nice pun. Pulls her up on
I didn't
stage.
mean that. That was me being
Wait, what's
dumb.
the pun?
Pull her up on stage.
Oh,
Instead
pull her
of
up on
stage.
stage. Yeah, that makes sense.
That was an inverted.
Anyways, so look, the thing is, but really the foundation is my community.
Yeah.
It's fun. We have a good time, and the people are really, really great. Celebrities, for the most part, are not going to be rude
Yeah. Yeah.
because that is very
Not
ugly.
The only time, for me, at least the stories that I've heard, I don't, like me personally, if there's a celebrity in there, I'm not going to just walk up and be like, hey, buddy, how are you?
I would.
But when people do that, though, that's usually when they get pissed off. Like when they're eating and you interrupt
I'm not
their
going to
dinner,
do that. Now I have some tact.
You
But
throw
I'm not
it.
afraid to, because honestly, we're all
Human.
human
Right.
beings. No one's better than anyone.
And that's
in my
their
opinion.
But I mean, that's their time to like relax and be,
Sure.
away from it.
Yeah, because there is something about being on all the time,
Yeah.
which is when we give the level of care that we do when we go to work, we know you're on up on the main stage, Dr. T. Okay,
Diamond to the main stage.
Diamond
To the main stage.
Diamond. I remember Diamond.
Pixie, stage 2.
Chastity.
These two having a bromance over
I
here.
know.
We have fun. We're coming back. This is fun. It's been over an hour, hasn't it?
It has.
Okay,
Yeah.
we can stop anytime you want.
We'll wrap it up. But yeah, we definitely want to have you guys back on,
Yeah.
especially as you get, everything progressing with like your.
Yeah. So just remember, you're going to miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's
okay,
right.
so we can be on here and be in development on something. It could not happen. It could happen.
Right.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: you don't go into something to lose.
No.
So we're in to win,
Yeah.
right? We don't.
Yes.
But regardless,
Do we ever say, "Hey, we're going to lose this one"?
but no, but
No,
like
we win every single one.
But regardless, we want to have you guys back. I've like just in my little interaction with you guys, I feel like you're definitely in the realm that we're in, and we're trying to grow as well.
Okay.
So
Yeah, let's go. Let's grow together.
yeah, let's do it.
Hey, listen, follow so that the algo will help him grow.
Oh,
I like
I
your.
stole it.
I
stole it.
I like your flow.
I revised it, but that's stolen. I watched a lot of TikTok videos, and this one guy's like so clever in what he does, and he says it different than that, but he talks.
I
About
would have just owned it. I was like,
it. No, I'm not going to sit here and plagiarize
You had me at Algo.
algo rhythm.
Where can they find you?
Okay, so drtonychiro.com, and then everything's Dr. Tony Chiro, right, Sage?
Yep.
So doctor's spelled out though.
okay.
So DOCTOR, Tony, TONY. A lot of people don't realize that Tony for a guy is with a Y, and then with a girl, it's
I.
an I. So TONY, Chiro.com, on all the platforms. We're going to check you out. What's the YouTube that we're going to be on?
It'll be a little bit of me and you, YouTube.
I love the name. I think it's great.
I'll tell you the story after
Yeah, I want to know.
because it's so stupid, but it's funny.
Listen, look, this doesn't look too stupid to me.
No, this is actually
It's pretty good.
this is my therapy. You know.
We're happy. Like, I had a great time being here. Thanks for having us.
Perfect. Well, we
Sage, what do you think?
I enjoyed it. It was very fun.
Okay, can I give a little shout out real quick? So I just want the people that couldn't be here that are so important. Like Amber is just pivotal in everything that we do. Grace, Kylie doesn't work for us anymore, but we still love you. And then obviously we have Paige. She's new, but Sage and Paige.
I saw that.
fun,
I saw
fun.
that video.
Oh, did you?
Did you see the Sage and Paige?
Yes, yes.
So yeah,
Love
so
Paige.
listen, the finest, these people are going to take good care of you when you come, and they help me take care of you. So, and again, we offer concierge care without concierge prices, okay? And we also offer concierge care with concierge prices,
perfect.
okay? And you can find that on my website under VIP access, okay?
Perfect.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.